the '06 Honda Ridgeline. Complaint was no heat. The first thing I did to check the coolant level, that was fine. Of course, you got to be sure when car is hot, you don't want to burn yourself, so be careful when you open up the cap on your radiator. So coolant was fine. The car was able to warm up on the engine was able to warm up on the operating temperature. If it's not, then you can get a thermostat stuck to open position. It's not warming the engine enough, so you're not going to have a hot coolant going into your heater core to heat up the cabin. Now this design is a little bit different. This car has these two hoses. This hose here and down here are the hoses that are actually going into your heater core. Now the bottom hose has this control valve here, and I wasn't sure exactly how it operates and what is actually supposed to open and close this valve, but as we were changing the temperature on the climate control module, this did not move at all. It was pushed all the way to the right. Now when it's working correctly, when you turn your knob to hot, this cable is supposed to push this handle to all the way out to open up the valve so the coolant actually can go into the heater core. Now the first thing what you can do is there's a little latch here. You can open this latch like so, all right, and then you can pull this cable off that valve, and then you need to move this valve left and right to make sure that it's not stuck. And you're going to feel a little bit of resistance, but you should be able to turn it in and out. Now, I've seen some cars where this screw here is stripped or it's not tightened all the way, so as this handle is moved, it's not actually opening the valve inside. And so that was okay, but I did not know what component is actually. Now, the other thing also, you want to check this cable itself, that the cable is not stuck. And I already got this fixed. I was a little frustrating with it. The problem was in a driver's side blend door actuator. So this is the replacement part. This is what I can find here, the BDAC 1404 Duralast, and here's the actuator. So this one's kind of interesting. This part of the handle is actually open a blend door, and this one actually controls the valve for the heater core. So there's a cable attached to this end here, and as I was moving my control, it would move just a little bit, and it would stop, and it would go back. So there's the actuator. It's right on underneath the steering wheel. And I have to say I was a little frustrating with it. The way to take this off, so you can see now that's the handle here and that's the cable. Now also you can actually take the cable off this blue handle and just kind of move it in and out to make sure the cable is not stuck. And once you determine that, then you can go ahead and change the actuator. Of course you can have a problem with the wiring, but I could see that it's moving a little bit, but it's not all the way, so I knew my wiring is okay. So I think you have like 5 wires, 2 wires are power and ground for the motor, another 3 are a potentiometer, basically the sensor that tells the computer how far the blend door is open and closing. And in order to replace it, you're going to have, this is a little duct here, you'll have to take this screw out, this screw here, and there's one screw on top of it. It's very hard to get to. You're going to need a long screwdriver to get to that bolt, to that screw, and then you're going to take this piece off, you just slide out. And then on this actuator itself, you're going to have one screw here, one on the top, which was the hardest one to get to, one on the kind of upper left corner, and then one on the other side. So this is the way this part is sitting. So you're going to have one screw here, and one here. So in order to get to this screw, you'll have to take the duct off. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get to it. Actually, it's this way. So you're going to have one screw here, here, and here, and these two you can get to, but this one you can't because of the duct. You have to remove the duct first, and then so now I'll show you guys the when I turn the knob, and you can see this cable is actually going to start moving, and at the same time it will actually operate the blend door as well. Now we are on low, so let's go ahead and turn on to heat, high. And you can see it's already, actually I can hold the handle, so I'm going to low. You can see how that's moving, and then a hot, it pushes the cable out, and then it will extend and push that valve open for the heater core. So that's the part that did not work, and of course it did not move the blend door all the way either. So that's what you need to pay attention. When you have your heat on, then you can see this valve, this cable is pushed all the way out and it opens the valve. So that's what you need to pay attention on. And if that doesn't work, if it doesn't move, remove this cable, and if it moves, then it's not the valve. You have to go inside and check that actuator actually. As I said, I was a little frustrated with it. I did not film the whole process, but I think you guys have a general idea what you need to do. You can see already temperature is rising, and there's the temperature of the engine, so we can crank the fan up a little bit, and it's going 90. It's working fine. Check the other side. Yeah, everything's working the way it's supposed to. And so that's it. Just to make sure that, just look at the valve on that heater core hose, and that's supposed to be, has to be pushed all the way with the cable. If the cable did not push it out, then something else is going on there. And that's it. This works fine now. You can see the temperature is just perfect. All right, for replacement, I really cannot give you good advice. It's a little bit of struggle, especially for me. My eyesight is bad now. I cannot get my glasses in focus when I'm underneath the car, and I have a bifocals. They're really struggling nowadays to get in a good focus. But and so anyhow, you're gonna have you take that duct off, and then get those 3 screws to take the actuator, put new one in. You have to line up your actuator arm with those 2 grooves. So these two have to be lined up, and so this one is for the cable, and this one for the blend door. And that's about it. I hope it's going to help someone. Thank you guys. See you next time. Bye bye.